Why do we do First Communion? It's to teach how important community is, how we come together as community, how when it feels like we're very much separated from each other, the truth is that in community, when we come together to pray, when we come together to celebrate communion in memory of Jesus' life, we are very much connected to each other. And in that connection to each other, we are reminded that we are never alone, no matter what's going on. Even when it feels like we're alone, the truth of the matter is that we are connected. We're connected to each other. Squeeze tight, both ends. Shake them. And even when there's a shake-up in the church, I thought it was funny, we still stay connected to each other. We are a family. We are a family of believers, and no matter what happens, we are together. It's important to stick together, to never wander away on your own, to make sure that together, as a community of believers, we can do anything through the love of Jesus Christ. We're connected. Nobody stands alone. Everyone is together. I invite you to be seated for a sec. Now, the other reason we do First Communion is to remind us of the signals that God gives us through His Scriptures. He gives us signals. Let me try to explain. If you've ever been traveling with your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, there's some street signals that they're supposed to be obeying. Let me try and review. It works like this. Can anybody tell me what the green light's for? Yes? Go. Very good. Can you hold on to that one for me? Awesome. And what is the red one for? Yes? Stop. Very good. Whoops. And what's the yellow one? No, it's not vroom. No. It's not hurry up. No. What's it for? Yellow. It's almost red. It says slow down, pause, don't rush, right? But this is what happens. Every once in a while, when we're in a great big hurry, this is what happens. We get them mixed up. Can I see the green one for a minute? You know, the green one's supposed to go in first, right? And then the yellow, right? Says that on the outside. And the red one. But you know what? We get confused. And we get confused because we're in a hurry, or we're frustrated, or we're upset, or we're late. And when we get confused, we get the signals confused. And they end up in the wrong order. So that happens to all of us. And it happens all the time. I need you to take these. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we don't get confused. I tell you what, just so you can see everything, I want you to put the green one in first. And a yellow one. Where's the yellow one? And then the red one. Good. You see, the signals of the street are like signals in our head. We need to know when it's safe to do something. We need to know when it's not safe and we need to stop. And we need, with the yellow light, to remember that means caution. Be careful. When you're making a decision, sometimes you need to pray for God's guidance so that you don't make the wrong decision. Because if you make the wrong decision and you go when you should stop, you can get hurt. Some people say, well, it doesn't matter. But sometimes it's not just us that gets hurt, it's somebody else. And we can't make all bad situations disappear. And so we need a little bit of help. And that little bit of help that we need is to remember the signals in our hearts and in our heads that come from prayer. When God says, yes, you can go, and then He says you need to be careful, and then you need to stop. Now, the other reason we do First Communion is this. Some people think we live in a box. If you say, do, think, and feel all the right things, then you'll be okay. They call it being a nice person. And being a nice person is nice. Mind you, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. We don't live in a box. We live in a body, a temple that God has created, our bodies, and our spirit. Our spirit is alive, and it's always making decisions about what to do and what not to do, whether it's healthy or not. And we need to sort of take that box of say, do, think, and feel all the right things, and we need to burst that box and know that what life's really all about is realigning that into the cross. It's all about Jesus. It's all about our relationship with Jesus. It's all about Jesus saying yes, no, or be careful. Right? Now the communion is our way of celebrating with Jesus his Last Supper with his best friends. Our way of sharing in that supper. Our way of taking the bread and the wine as symbols of Jesus' body and blood. A reminder that he loved us so much that he died for us even before we were born. And that he still loves us no matter what we say or do. It's all about Jesus and following his way. He is our superhero. He is the legend beyond all legends. And it's his example that we're called to follow. And in praise of the 5-minute sermon, all of God's people say, Amen.